Hello, everybody, and once again, you can see my going live screen because that's the way captions work. I am Jaycorn, and welcome to what's left of us, a D&D live play stream. We are here in our increasingly friendly game of Dungeons and Dragons to show you all our stories. As usual, we have a content warning for anyone who wants to watch. This is a game of Dungeons and Dragons. It's roleplay, and things get messy and intense, and it's a game based on combat, and so it can get violent sometimes. And so if any of those things don't seem like they're good for you, by all means, take the opportunity to check out occasionally, and then check back in with us if you feel like you want to, okay? Our release schedule is up on the side, right here, right that way. This way right here, if I can pantomime this properly. And you'll see that as soon as the episode is done, I take the VOD and I edit it and I put it out on YouTube for all of you to see. And hopefully the edited version is nicer and you folks can see that. But the VOD will be now available immediately for anyone who wants to watch. I've changed that up mostly because it didn't end up mattering and everything was fine anyway. So there you go. We also, as some of you may know, who are in our Discord and who have subscribed to us on Patreon and Ko-Fi and those sorts of things, we put up little chunks of stuff in between episodes. Since we have one of these every month, we do like little inner scene things, little bonus episodes that we have. Not necessarily. Sometimes they're skits. Sometimes they're like me doing little spooky like hints at stuff that's coming. If you want any of those, you can subscribe to us on Twitch or on Patreon or Ko-Fi or any of that, and then join our Discord and link your account with whatever you're subscribing to us on, and bam, you've got it right there. All of these things are also generally on our Anchor site as well, so if you subscribe to our Anchor site where our podcast is, you can absolutely listen to it there as well, if you would rather listen to us and not see our beautiful faces. One last thing, our lovable mod, Sam, pronouns in your bio, is in chat, keeping an eye on things. If there's any questions, you can ask him, or you can, if you're being bad, he's going to ask you a question, and so you should be ready for that. Let's move on over to our party today, which is a little lighter than usual. There we are. Hi everybody.
Hello.
At the very least,
right
now we've got Ron and Wild Jinx. Star is unfortunately at a con right now. She couldn't move the date, and Zoe had some family stuff come up and she needed to go and deal with that. So that's what's going on with that. We will have extra episodes for those two at some point during this upcoming month, okay? And it will happen before the next game session. So keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye on our Discords and stuff like that. We will have extra bonus episodes for you this month. It's actually a good time to do that because, as you all know, last week our party leveled up. And because of our special rule, they have to take a downtime activity to level up, which means they're all about to go on a little bit of an adventure. Mildred should be arriving at some point soonish, unless he has been waylaid. And if she has been, then that's just all there is to it, and we will get another bonus episode with Rat Grither at some point, I imagine. But yeah, we'll figure that out, okay? Until then, right now, we are going to start with a little bit of a recap of what happened. Let's pop over to the map screen. Ho ho, the train, the magnificent Chew.
The choo-choo?
The Death Chew, which is no longer a Death Chew, has pulled into Waterdeep Station. Last we left off, our players gathered the clues, completely threw off all of my sneaky plans by thinking cleverly, and solved their own murders to get off of the Mourning Rail. And after a couple of more days on the train, the Chew, pardon me, they pull serenely into Waterdeep Station. There is fanfare, there is applause, all these rich for like this. Remember, this was a test of the system to see if this sort of railed carriage would work, and it has, for all intents and purposes, as no one but our party remembers the events of the Mourning Rail. At the end of the adventure, they not only caught the culprit, a gnomish saboteur named Eli Fumblecrumb. That's my name, don't wear it out. But they also caught his employer. This guy, Vernon. Did I give him a better name? Hold on. No, I didn't want to make him not unique. Hold on.
That's
Vernon Gwart. That's it. I forgot my own NPC's name. Vernon Gwart, who had hired Eli to sabotage the train in some way, so as people didn't want to take it, as opposed to his usual long carts, the regular way of getting from place to another, which is mercenary bands guarding carts, taking like 2 weeks to get somewhere, right? So yeah,
That sounds horrible.
Well, this innovation definitely was going to curb stomp that. So he wanted to try and kibosh it, and you all stopped him. Like a Scooby-Doo ending, you all were trotted out to the applause, and the authorities were ready to take the two perpetrators in. Now, Vernon is a very wealthy merchant, and so he got a slightly different treatment than poor Eli. But Eli also got a slightly different treatment. It turns out that he was a member of a gnomish tinkerers guild, and the guild leader with a guild enforcer was there to take him in. And like they're
So he
citing
got
a
in
whole
extra
bunch.
trouble?
Oh yeah, he did. In fact, he gets reprimanded into his guild for crimes against machinery. And Eli's like, no, I didn't. It was for the money. Trust me. And then they're like, no amount of money will get you out of this. And then they haul him up, and he goes, no. And like they don't move that fast really because they got their little legs, and so like it's a while before you stop hearing Eli's like, no, please. They're just slowly dragging him away down the road.
You know, I have to say, after the first 20 minutes, I feel kind of bad for him. You know,
after the first half an hour, you're just like, well, now I would like
He
this
deserved
to...
it.
yes.
He very much accidentally murdered you all. Several times.
Several times.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is the basic recap. And to go along with that recap, chat. Oh yes, I didn't forget Twitch chat. Did you forget that you are sentient?
I forgot.
Twitch chat, you are now a part of this game, just like any of us. Let's see here. What can I...
They're a player character?
Can I? No, well, sort of. Listen. Oh, here. Look at this spooky guy off to the corner. See that?
What's
That's Twitch chat.
guy?
That's Twitch chat.
I'm going to call it Barney.
Watching
The one in the robe?
from the sidelines, all of you realizing for the first time maybe that you have some agency. You're not just watching these heroes. You're helping them. And me. Inside your Twitch chat, down at the bottom where you gather your acorn points for watching the channel, you'll notice there are currently 3 channel goals. If you reach those channel goals, the players get inspiration, which is an extra d20 or advantage to roll on anything they would like. Once. However, I also get one every time you complete one. And I will use it liberally. Trust me.
I don't like the sound of that.
Rathgurther already getting 2,000 points from Zyberian. And
Amazing.
Maldris. See,
Oh, no,
my
what?
chat has been saving up points this entire time. So
Wait,
they
what is-
probably have like 10,000 points each.
Okay, but how much do the points cost?
So, if you are
Like, how
not a
many
subscriber, I believe you get 1 acorn every, I don't know, every minute watched or something like that. I can't remember. Something like that. But if you're subscribed, you get like a 2 times bonus, 3 times bonus, depending on how big you got. Yeah. So it looks like people are almost done their inspiration challenges already. Look at this. I love this enthusiastically. See, the point is that because I set it to like 5K. But in reality, like, they're gonna get finished immediately for the first little bit as everyone like uses up their points in like a backlog. Just no, right? So
And then they'll have to save up again.
they'll have to save up again, right? As soon as those are done, you will get an inspiration to work on, and I will get an inspiration to work on, which is
Would it be cheating if I
lovely,
used my
chat.
channel points on your channel?
I mean, I
won't.
suppose
I won't.
you might want to. So chat, I don't want you to think that this is just some gimmick. It is just some gimmick, but it's more than just some gimmick, okay? You all, when I say you all are realizing that you have agency in this world for the first time, I mean it. You're all more or less actually in the world, and occasionally I will have story for all of you as well. So, I'll be watching.
Oh,
That said,
he left.
who left?
Did you move him? The like shady person off to the
I have
side.
no idea what you mean.
Uh-huh.
It's not just a gimmick; it's a marketing strategy.
Listen, I'm gonna put this on t-shirts.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
This
Right.
is you.
And this is you. Okay. So once again, I will remind everybody that while our characters did level up to level 3 last time, they will not be able to take advantage of their level 3 bonuses and extra health and all these extra spells and stuff until they completed their long rest. Challenge ended for Vernon.
Wait, we got extra spells?
Challenge ended for Rathgurther. Oh, you're powering me, everybody.
That reminds me, I said I was gonna get my character sheet open, and then I just didn't. So
This is
get that open now.
cursed. It's so good. Okay, so right now I have 2. I imagine Maldris's will be finished in probably very short order.
Oh no!
So, oh yeah, absolutely. And so what we're gonna do, and why we're gonna play this episode a little bit looser than normal, aside from the fact that we're missing some players, that's not actually part of this. It's actually a really good episode to be missing players on, because we're gonna take this a little slowly. We won't. We're gonna take a little bit of extra time because this is the first time our players have leveled up using this new rule. We're gonna take some time and really let them go through it. This will not happen every time. I will not dedicate an episode every time to them just leveling up, but I want to introduce you to some things that happen to these players while they take these level up challenges. And for now, that'll be what this episode is. Welcome to an interlude, a place to grow. You have arrived in Waterdeep. Where is my campaign? There it is. I am a great DM. I was absolutely prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Maldris's thing ended early. So
What do you mean
as
Maldris's thing ended early?
you were the first one to get finished.
Oh, for the chat thing?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
So
chat.
you at the very top of your sheets, your player sheets, you'll notice a thing called inspiration. It's a little box that is empty. If you click it, you'll notice it fills up with a little sunshine. That little sunshine will remind you that you have, hopefully, that you have an extra d20 to roll on whatever you'd like. Okay?
I click.
You click. Good.
I click.
You click. All right, so let's begin first with setting up where you all are. All right? Let's dive on in. You are at one of the gates of Waterdeep. And it has been specifically set up, as you can tell, hastily a little bit, but still in Waterdeep fashion. Someone with money was able to get some paving done. And we have some statues set up and then like a magical fire to like, you know, symbolize, hey, you're somewhere civilized now. And like a crowd is gathered to give you warm rounds of applause, and you know the rich folk are up front. You know, they have a troubadour singing, and they've got a couple of the poorer folks in the back. You know, and after the swell and the fanfare has kind of died down, you're getting some of the wealthier patrons are walking up to you all and shaking your hands and going, "Oh, I hope your team is available for work. It seems you're all very good together. We would like to perhaps engage your services." And they give you like the places where you can be reached, basically, or rather where you could reach them. This seems to be par for the course. Vernon, specifically, you've never been to Waterdeep proper, but you have been to some big cities like this. And you know that this is sort of par for the course because this is sort of how you operate generally. You do something big and flashy, and then some rich person gets the idea that you're good at what you do, and then they pay you for stuff, right?
Sounds about right.
Right, exactly.
All right.
And so like this doesn't surprise you at all, but it likely overwhelms some of the party a little bit, having all these people who are very finely dressed coming up and saying, oh man, well obviously you're some sort of wandering adventuring party, and you're all very good together, and that's amazing. I would very much love to hire you all. Here, take my card, I'll see you later. My people will contact your people. Kisses. And
I look down at the card and say, "Look at that subtle off-white coloring, the tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god, it even has a watermark."
Yeah, these aren't amateurs, all right? I mean, some of them are. These aren't amateurs.
But some of them are.
Almost immediately, Emery extricates herself from the party. She looks like she was like about to just leave without saying anything. But then she turns to all of you and says, "Look, I have some things I gotta check in on while I'm in town. It might take about a week or so, but look, I guess I'm not all done with you guys yet. If you're cool with that or whatever, I'll maybe find you in like a week."
All right. That sounds kind of like a threat, but at the same time, not quite so much. I hope you have good fortune in your endeavors.
And she nods, and you vividly remember her shaking a ghost and a person, so it might be a threat. And so, yeah, she kind of stalks off through the crowd, and you lose her fairly quickly, as tieflings are not exactly a strange thing here. And off she goes. You all kind of, as a group, begin sort of walking down the platform. And again, it's hard, right? Because you folks came together due to a weird circumstance. And I imagine some of you were under the impression that once you got off the train, you'd of course never see each other again. But some of you might be feeling otherwise. And Vernon, especially, as you look down at Tim, who is kind of nervously playing with her hands a little bit. She looks up at you, and she looks back at Rathgirther, and she looks at like the back of Emery retreating, and she goes, yeah, you know, I'd really like that too. I have things I have to do, and I probably should do them alone because I came here to do those. And as much as I really like some company, I should probably go and do some stuff on my own because it's my parents, you know?
Of course.
But maybe I'll find you again? Do you know where you're staying? Any of you? Vernon, you do.
Really,
Yeah.
I do know where. Yes, I do know where I'm staying. Yes, if you go down to the lodge with a purple
You're
door.
looking for a place called Lemmy House in the Trades Ward.
Yes. It's called Lemming House, you said?
Lemmy House.
Lemmy House. Okay.
Yep.
In the, what was it called, ward?
Trades Ward.
Trade Ward. Okay.
Yeah.
Lemmy House in the Trade Ward. Not to be confused with Lemming House in the in the maid ward, which I don't know what that is.
Right.
But yes, you'll find me there.
Yeah, she brightens up in her usual way. She goes, "Oh, I'll be around the trades ward actually, but yeah, maybe I'll step in a couple of times. But yeah, I'll find you."
Excellent. Do be careful though. They are an interesting bunch.
Yeah. See you soon. And she kind of like, she scuttles off a little bit, and then she like turns and looks back at you all, and then she scuttles away again, and she's quickly lost in the crowd. Again, it's hard not to think of her as a young person, given how small she is and how she acts. But you have to remember for a quick moment that she lived on her own for quite some time before she met you folks, so she'll likely be okay. And I don't want to act for Rathgirther. However, I'm fairly certain that at this point Rathgirther would kind of be meandering aimlessly at this point. I'll check back in with Mildred when it comes time for them to be back on the stream. But until then, we can assume that that Rathgirther will be kind of reveling in this idea that there's a crowd gathered.
Yeah. Rathgirther is eating and also telling people stories.
Does
Correct.
she think the crowd's just there for her?
I mean,
Probably.
I imagine, given the way she has acted before already, she is probably some manner of working on it, working the crowd in her own way. Now, because I am guessing that Maldris, you would be the most likely person to beat off first in this particular instance.
Mm-hmm.
Being as you are someone who could easily blend into a crowd, and being as you have, of course, have something very important to do in this town.
I do.
Yeah,
I think.
you should. We're going to start with you.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
And so, you were. I don't know. Again, how would Maldris feel? Because obviously the interactions that they have had so far with the rest of the party have ranged from them being able to still be in the background to them, more or less being a big part of the group for probably the first time in a couple of months of her being with any group in general.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Tim, and then especially Emery making the comment that perhaps there's more to do together. How do you think Maldris would feel about that?
Well, Maldris has things to do in the town, like you said. But I don't think that they'd be opposed to coming back and meeting up with people and seeing what they want to do before making any decision.
Okay.
Right.
Because it depends on what everybody else's goals are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that Maldris was listening when Tim and Vernon were talking about where he was staying.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Maldris would actually like say goodbye to anybody or just like change their face and fuck off.
Well, that's more or less what I was thinking. Are you attached enough to these people that you would at least turn to Vernon and go, I mean, yeah, me too, and then leave? Or would you just leave?
Maybe since we all like went through that kind of ordeal on the train, or sorry, the choo-choo, that we would, or that Maldris would like have a slight attachment to these people right now.
Right.
Maybe not so much like Tim and Rathgirther, but Vernon and Emery probably.
All right.
So yeah, maybe Mal just walks over quickly to Vernon and says like a quick goodbye and then disappears.
Excellent.
Bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.
so long, and thanks for all the fish. Okay, so Maldris,
Yeah.
you
Where am I
had you had a very specific reason for coming here. A reason that would
Yes.
require you to reconnect with somebody who you believe can at least give you the information you need to confirm if Waterdeep was the correct choice or if you have to travel further afield.
Mm-hmm.
However, as we discussed,
However,
you have recently been through an ordeal that you didn't expect.
yeah, I died a bunch of times.
Yeah. And maybe more so than the others, dying has had an impression on you. In the Feywild, people live to enjoy life. It's like the mantra of everyone who lives in the Feywild. It's to live as big and as free as you possibly can. And so, while they don't often seem to fear death, the concept of having to go through it more than once is deeply unsettling, because it implies that maybe your first life isn't actually that important. Who knows how many times you get a crack at it? Why, like, maybe being more careful with it. And especially when now you know exactly how painful and disturbing being dead is for a mortal. It's with that in mind that you have a thought that perhaps you should seek whatever form of counseling is to be had in a place like this. In the Feywild, normally you'd speak with an elder, or maybe you'd go on walkabout and find a tree that could talk and, like, get its wisdom, you know? But you're a little lost here, especially in a city swimming with people. And in that regard, you're probably more comfortable, right? Because you're a changeling, and so with so many people around, you're a canvas.
Do I have any idea of where to start looking yet?
You have some idea of where to start looking for your contact for your main goal, but in terms of what you're looking for, I imagine I wouldn't make you want to roll to see, like, do I think that this people will be good to talk to? You know that the way people do things in the material plane is that they generally sort of lean on religion for this sort of thing. And so you'd be looking for, like, religious places and seeing which ones you're kind of feeling. You don't know where it is, though, so you'd have to ask around.
Okay. Do I see anybody that I can ask?
Absolutely. You can ask anybody. There's town criers, and there's this is further in now. You've gone past the gates full of guards and into the city proper, and yes, there's town criers, like, immediately there, able to, like, give you news, and you know, they're saying things like, you know, fish markets on the dock ward open until late night, you know, that sort of thing.
Can I go up to one of the town criers?
Sure.
And what do I even know what I need to be asking them? Like, should I ask,
where is your
like,
religion?
Yeah, dude.
Where is your god now?
Yeah, basically. Because
yeah.
What should I ask? Like, I'll be like, excuse me, can you tell me where I can find information about death?
Yeah.
About dying?
And, yeah, the crier kind of gives you a look real quick, and then he goes, I'm sorry, have you lost someone?
Not exactly. I just wondered if there's somebody that I can speak to regarding death and lives and something along that lines.
Well, yes, there's in town here, along the castle ward and along the market ward, there are occasionally well, there's several temples to different gods. If you're looking for death in particular, there are two. There's the Temple of Lathander, And then there's the
Temple of what now?
Lathander is the
Lathander?
yes, he's the one of the deities of death here. Although he's more on the consoling side, for instance. His people wander the wilds and the towns and offer succor to those who have recently lost. He also is a destroyer of the undead, which, if you believe such things exist, of course. And then there is, of course, the temple to the Raven Queen, deep down in the castle ward. They are purveyors of, funerals for the most part. The final end. They aren't much fond of the undead either, but again, if you believe such things. I would say that they are more the dour, spookier versions. Listen, Lathander's temple is bright and airy and above ground, and the Raven Queen's temple, I do not wish to besmirch a goddess's holdings, but it's spooky. Anyways, regardless, the temple to the Raven Queen is standing in the castle ward, and the temple to Lathander is actually placed in North Ward.
Okay, thank you. I'm just gonna walk away in the direction he told me. There was two temples, and he said they're both in opposite directions.
They are in opposite directions, yes.
Okay. Well, he said the one was for mourning, and then the other one was for like actual death.
Yes. Yeah. He said the Raven Queen was much more specifically about the act of dying, as opposed to Lathander. Yeah.
Let's go see the temple of the Raven Queen then.
Oh, that's good, because that's the one I prepared.
What would you have done if I wanted to go see both?
I would have very quickly whipped something up.
Honesty is key.
Right. And then let's see here. Let's summon players to this board. And let's make sure that here, let me close that for a moment.
Oh shit.
Let me get Maldrus's model, because you haven't inputted a Hero Forge model for Maldrus yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's fine. Well, again, whenever you'd like. We can now have Hero Forge models, everybody. Huzzah!
Uh-huh.
I have it mostly set up, but you messed with me that one time I was making it, so I got real confused.
Right.
Okay.
So you it takes some walking from the gate you're in, maybe about half an hour or so, but you eventually walk down the main thoroughfare of the castle ward, and the castle ward is full of these big imposing buildings. The city guard barracks is there, the city magister's barracks is there, a couple of the actual castles in town are there, the main palace of the council is here, and as you walk along, you distinctly see this building, very gothic, very squat at first is what you think, ringed with dark stone and dour statues. The light from dark iron braziers is just making this place throw stark shadows, and every single place you look is some sort of raven iconography. And you believe, as you've walked closer and you read the plinth, that you have come to the temple of the Raven Queen.
All right. Can I go inside?
If you would like
I
to.
don't see anybody around, do I?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, there are people passing by on the street, but there's no one currently in the outside of the Raven Temple.
Okay, let's go inside then.
All right. Hey, you have control of your character. You can go wherever you'd like.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh,
I went down the stairs.
You did. Don't forget you could move the pip along the side to remove the rooftop.
Yeah.
And see inside.
This one. Okay. How do I... Oh, it's the arrow keys.
All right. And as you come inside here, you realize you're in what appears to be a crypt. This building is 3 stories tall. Gigantic pillars carved out of dark stone reach up to the ceilings, which are slowly lit by hovering candles. And occasionally you'll see someone off to the side looking through what appears to be a window with a shrouded curtain over top of it. And if you care to look even closer at these shrouded windows, you will quickly notice that these are actual, like, they're looking into caskets that have been interred inside here. So they're speaking to their departed loved ones.
Well, all right then.
Mm-hmm.
But these people just look like they're mourning. They're not anybody with any kind of information.
It doesn't appear to be. You see 1 or 2 people in the robes of the Raven Queen's supplicants. So these they range in austerity in terms of their presentation, but generally they're dark robes with a hood. And then as you notice, as they maybe get more and more important looking, you'll see occasionally some of them with like raven feathers coming off of their shoulder pads and stuff like that, right? Just coming out of them.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm just bringing up. I also had a bunch of models made for today. However, unfortunately, I was unable to purchase them. No, it's not what I wanted. Come on, you. Sorry, folks.
It's okay.
Is it? I don't think it is. I had something to say for you because you're about to meet somebody. Somebody important. And while I can't show it on the screen, I can probably give the link to chat.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Exclusive content.
Links for what?
Hey, Ron, you know you're not on the screen right now, right?
Oh, I know. I'm taking a rest on my feet.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're at a standing desk now. You sat down for the...
Yeah, no, I sat down in a
No,
chair.
that's a good idea.
You can still kind of see the top of my head.
You're correct. No, you're doing something correct. I just needed to make sure you didn't like leave.
What? No, I'm invisible.
I'm in the kitchen right now. I swear.
Just kidding. I'm still here.
Okay, everything's being super slow because my poor computer is dealing with so much stuff. But as you approach the main plinth, you notice that there's some sort of ceremony, maybe it's a ceremony. As you get closer, you thought it may have been a ceremony, but like now you're not really sure. It looks more like someone's giving like a talk, because there's a bunch of supplicants in like lower tiered robes, and they're being talked to by people who are wearing like just blatant amounts of raven feathers, with the exception of the person who's actually seeming to lead this talk. She's tall.
Can I hear
She's
what
wearing,
they're saying?
Yeah, if you come a little closer.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, and then as you're preparing the body, you need to make sure that it is on the table properly. And so the fluids drain out of these pockets here and here, because if they are left unattended to, well, this hall would start to quite literally reek of the dead. And then the supplicants kind of titter a little bit at the small joke, although the lady speaking does not apparently think it's funny at all. Very dour expression. The woman you're seeing, incidentally, which the link is now in chat, she's relatively tall. She is wearing a sort of slim jerkin and pants and like riding boots, and they're mostly in dark colors, dark blues and dark, like really dark grays. And she's got a cowl on without a hood, but it looks like the hood could easily be added for when it rains. And she's got like sort of a waist cape as well. And she's holding this very large, I mean, you thought it was a staff at first, but now you're thinking it might actually be a very stylized giant axe, sort of executioner style, where the top is a stylized raven, with its wings sharpened. And she's holding it like it's a rod of office, more or less. And I don't know. Do you interrupt her, or do you listen to the full diatribe?
Because she's still talking to a bunch of people, like barking out orders, right?
She seems to be.
Yeah.
It takes you a few seconds, but she's absolutely teaching them how to prepare a body for entombment.
Okay.
What little
I think
was
I'll
able
just
to
listen for the moment.
Right. And yeah, so she goes through the whole thing, all the way up to if they're going to be embalmed or if they're going to be interred in a more open fashion. It depends entirely on what the family wants, especially because she makes frequent mention that the Raven Queen's temple does not expect to rely on alms given by the community because of the nature of what they do. Very frequently, you imagine that people decide not to give them money because they're in pain and their loved ones have just died, and it's just not something that people tend to really think about when they're upset at that sort of thing. And
like
so
grieving?
yeah, and the Raven Queen's temple has a very strict policy of not demanding money from people who are grieving, which unfortunately is almost their entire clientele. And so the money the Raven Queen's temples get are entirely from donations taken after the fact, which they do have some wealthy patrons, as you can see from the way their temple is laid out. This is a very nice temple, all things considered, despite it being dark. And after it, the talk probably takes another half an hour, while they mess with what you eventually realize is an illusory body. And after it's done, the applicants just kind of shuffle off to do the rest of their duties, and a couple of the higher the folks wearing the raven feathers on the top there kind of like clean off all the implements and start to move around. One of them takes notice of you and whispers something to Marina, who is the lady up above, as you learned, as one of the applicants had asked her a question some way through. And she's called Marina, Maurina.
Okay.
And she, instead of taking the stairs down, she just kind of hops down from the dais and heads over to you. Hello, welcome to the Temple of the Raven Queen. May I be of assistance?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, that's generally what we do here. Have you lost someone?
No, I think it was me.
I think
I died a couple times.
You did?
I think so.
Can you roll me a perception check real quick?
Oh crap. Where's my Maldra's character sheet? Perception. Okay. I got this. Everything's fine. That is a 16 plus 5 is 21.
21. Very good. You notice that as soon as you say that you think you died, she makes a subtle hand motion. She's waving it, and then you see she's muttering something under her breath, and her eyes flash up a little bit. Specifically, the one eye of hers that is bird-like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I think she's trying to attack me? Like, does she?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an insight check. Is she being malicious? That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Insight. Okay, I got this. Maybe I don't got this. 12?
12? from what you know of spells, she's being real subtle about it. So she's either boosting herself for something, or she is trying to ascertain something, and she's cast a spell that gives a bit of knowledge.
Okay. Just
Her
in
posture
case.
her posture hasn't changed at all.
So she's still like relaxed?
Well, as relaxed
Or
as
however-
she has appeared to be to you before. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll be like, what are you doing? What's this?
If someone walks into the Raven Queen's temple, right up to a guardian of the Raven Queen's temple, and says, "Hello, I might have died. I need to check if you're undead."
Okay. Pretty sure I'm not undead. But I don't really know what happened.
Indeed able to ascertain that you are absolutely not undead.
That's why
This
I
might
came
lead
here.
to a longer conversation. Would you like to step somewhere slightly more comfortable?
We can do that.
Excellent. Please come with me. And she leads you down the hallway to a curtained off side room. Sort of like it's sort of like a... Are you not going to go in the... Oh my goodness, shift, walk.
What are you doing?
I am teleporting
What
your
are you
character.
doing?
There you
Okay.
go.
Oh,
Look at you in here now.
There we
So
go.
you enter a small room and she closes the curtain, and this is you've been in other churches in the mortal realm before. And so you get the idea that this is sort of like one of those private spaces that they often use for deep conversations or meditation or something. In the exact middle of this this area here, which has like a deep red stonework stylized to look like a carpet. There is a pile of what looks like had been skulls at one point, and there are crystals jutting through them that are glowing this sort of sickly green.
mm-hmm.
And then there are, of course, candles around. And she goes, "All right, tell me more." And she sort of like sits. There are kind of cushions, now that you notice, that have been piled in the corners, and she takes a big one out and she puts it on the ground, and she sits like crisscross applesauce on the ground. She lays down her what is absolutely an axe. Now that you get up closer, it's a bird axe. It's an axe that is shaped like a bird.
I want a bird axe. Anyways, okay, so I'll tell her the story from what I know of. We arrived on... Me and my acquaintances were on the choo-choo from... What was it, Waterdeep? Or we came
From
to Waterdeep?
Loudwater. Yeah.
From Loudwater to Waterdeep.
Right.
And what, 4 times? The choo-choo exploded and we died, and I had visions of something or other, which I can't quite explain, and then we somehow went back in time to us getting on the choo-choo and starting all over again. And we somehow were able to get off. After finding the dude who was sabotaging it.
Right. Yeah.
I guess that's a good enough explanation.
Save the train.
For Lady. For Raven
I
Lady.
would have also accepted I fill her in.
I mean,
that's fine.
Sure.
Well, yeah, but like if Meldris would have been so simple about it, she would have been like, huh. Well, that's a new one.
And I don't know what happened.
Well, I can't sense any death on you, but I'm not the end-all be-all. I'm a temple guardian. I I sense for undead, and I whack people with this axe whenever they get out of line. How about we ask for someone else's opinion? Shall I?
Who are you asking?
From time to time, we're able to contact representatives of the Raven Queen who can come by and give us more specific details.
Okay.
It'll be, have you ever been subject to a message spell or an illusion, for instance, that plays a message?
I don't know, have I?
You have probably been subject to a message spell before. It's when someone
Okay.
talks in your brain. Yeah. It is something similar to that. However, the connection is rather... It can be intense. We'll be talking to people who live on other planes.
Okay.
All right. Why don't you stare at that crystal for me? This one.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
I stare at the crystal.
Perfect. Excellent. Now I just gotta activate it. Oh... What did Samuel say was the activation word again? Quoth? And then the crystal, like, flares. And she's like, of course, it's Quoth. And almost immediately, you are drawn. It's like, you know when you stare at a campfire for too long, and you just kind of feel yourself being slowly drawn into it? That sort of feeling of drifting a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like that, only it's a little bit more intense. You're very much not aware of yourself anymore, and you are alone. You are in a mist-shrouded landscape. You can't see anything. It is all dark. And as you're sitting there, you start to smell the smell of falling leaves. You hear that familiar hum of music from the Feywild again. You look over to the left and you see that strand of trees from your visions. And again, those dark eyes and the growl and the taller figure with its eyes. What do you do?
Is this just a vision? Do I know if this is just a vision?
You have no idea.
Probably gonna go for my weapons.
Okay. You whip out your weapons, and from the shadows under the eaves, a roiling bank of shadows exits with the bright eye pricks of the beast in it. And again, it starts charging at you, just very quickly running towards you. And right at its heels is the taller figure, a taller, roiling bank of formless fog with two bright, wide eyes. Do you stand your ground?
No, I'm gonna get the fuck out if I can.
Right. You turn to run, and you're in an open plain of fog. There's nothing. There's nothing there. But for maybe the first time, you feel a presence next to you. Something
Okay.
whispering in your ear.
Do I understand the whispers?
You listen to it? Give me a perception check.
Oh. I just did this. Perception.
You did.
Got it. 19.
19. Wonderful. Yeah, it's slowly it sounds very much like the whispers of the ethereal plane you were hearing before you started having the visions. Like just after you died, when you were standing with those other figures in the darkness, before you had your vision, there's this ever-present like wind whistling mixed with whispering. That's what you're hearing, and you're listening into it, and it gets clearer and clearer. And as it does so, you realize there are shapes moving about your feet, little white off-green silhouettes just moving around, and they have nondescript faces, and they're swirling around you, and they form up into sort of like a protective wall in front of you. And one of them turns and says, "Run."
Well, I tried that. Let's try running again now, though.
Okay. So as you run, you look back real quick, and you see the fog bank of shadow slams into this group of ghostly apparitions that are holding it back. And you're running, and you're running, and you're just... I have a hair on my tongue. That's a worst time for that. I got it. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm cool. It's all good. I didn't undercut the nuance at all. Let's keep going. You're sprinting away, and the ghost wall is... Listen.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
I'm good. The ghost wall, it looks like it's starting to kind of bleed through and break, and you realize you have one ghostly presence still attached to you. This little like ball, like holding on for dear life on your shoulder, like and he's not really saying much right now except to like encourage you to continue running.
He's guiding me.
Yeah, he's like pointing, and he's helping you like move around in the fog banks and stuff. But you realize quickly that some of these fog banks are more solid than others, and you like they start looking like things like lampposts and signs and big trees and buildings. And as you start skirting around them, things resolve clearer and clearer until you run smack into something soft but tougher than a fog bank. And you look up and you see this woman. She is easily 4 times your size, gigantic. And she's covered in a long draping robe made of raven's feathers. And you can't quite see her face, but you can see that it is humanoid. And she is draped in a mourning veil on her head. And she looked like she wasn't even considering you for a moment, and then she looks down at you, and all you feel is cold, dark consideration.
Okay.
You are not dead yet. And then suddenly you're back in the room with Marina. And so is your little buddy.
What? He came with me?
Your little friend on your shoulder is still there. And he's just kind of like sitting on your shoulder right now, but you don't feel his weight at all. He's just there.
He's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see him? Can anybody else see him?
Marina doesn't seem to take notice, so she does.
Okay, I'm going to ignore him for the moment then.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like, what the fuck was that? To Marina.
Did you see something?
Yeah, I saw a lot of things. I was being chased. I ran into this person.
Excellent.
And I guess I'll describe the person to her.
Right.
And this gigantic lady told me that I'm not dead yet.
Well, that's a good sign.
I mean, I guess. But what happened? Did I not die?
You are not dead. No. I mean, if she said you're not, then you're not. I believe you have seen a vision of the mother, the matron herself.
The Raven Queen?
Raven Queen. There are so few of us that get to actually see her. I'm one. And every once in a while she chooses a champion for her mortal realm, and she appears to them. But we already have a champion, so I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a champion. So what does any of that mean?
Oh, well, that's going to take some time. I will have to decipher this with someone else, I'm afraid. I'm very sorry. But for the time being, it seems you've been touched by the other side. And she points to the person the little thing on your shoulder.
Oh, so she can see him.
Mm-hmm. Not many of us can, mind you.
Okay.
But it appears the spirit has taken a liking to you. And that's an indication that you have died. So
I'm dead, but not dead.
correct. And as you see, there's one with her as well.
Oh.
It's holding on to her leg at the moment.
Okay.
You didn't see it before, but now you do.
Because of the vision.
I suppose so. You could make that inference.
Okay. Well, I guess this is all the information I can get from this place.
Absolutely. Although, I would suggest you come and see me again over the course of the next 10 days or so. I will be able to help you learn how to understand your new friend. It takes some time.
Oh, I can't understand him right now? Does he not say anything?
Right now, you can understand small excerpts of single words. It's difficult.
Okay.
You're going to have to actually put in some training. Hence it takes 10 days for you to level up.
Well, I guess I'll go find some place to stay.
You can stay in the temple with our acolytes. We have room for you.
Oh, cool.
Now, you'll have to work here, but...
I mean, I'll work. I don't have that much money, so I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Excellent. And she stands up and she says, let's get you a broom.
A broom.
A broom.
Okay.
There are many things to dust. And we're going to hold there for the moment. Because it has been about an hour or so. And we need to take a very small break.
Is it break time?
It is break time already. And so if you have all been watching us for this long a time, please stand up, get yourself some fluids, go to the washroom, and we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes or so, give or take. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, so, like, now they're off the train, and I'm just trying to find a way to TPK them all the time where they don't get mad at me. You know, like, I just got this deep need to murder... One sec. Hi, I was just looking up, game mechanics. Welcome to Intermission. This is normally where we would be having our ads and our sponsors, but right now, that's you. Yeah. All this delicious, grade A, definitely not murder-filled content is supported by you folks. And everything you do really does matter. Liking the YouTube video, subscribing on YouTube, following us on Twitch, listening to our content on our Anchor podcast, which is also, by the way, on Google Podcasts. And of course, supporting us monetarily through Ko-Fi, Patreon, subscribing on Twitch, and of course, donations if you can. And to thank you all for your continued support, we'd like to remind you that you could link your Twitch, your Ko-Fi, and your Patreon accounts directly to Discord. And once you're on our server, links on our webpage, what'sleftofus.card.co. You can mix it up with chat, engage with the rest of our community, and for our supporters. You have a little Patreon house, complete with a little gifting room that'll give you literally all of our bonus content. Just waiting there, up for grabs. So yeah, come on and join us. We'd love to see you. And, thanks again. Yeah, so you know what? I just had this idea. What if I get a maze and I fill it with really big salt?
And we're back. Hello, everybody. I hope you all had a good break. We got up and moved around and got our own food and snacks and whatever, and we are ready to come back at you with the second story. So we leave Maldris grueling away,
sweeping, apparently,
in the new temple for the week that they are there, learning how to deal with this new presence with them, and maybe what that means for their life going forwards. By the way, this means specifically that you are now actually level 3. Congratulations.
Yay!
All right. Now for this other delinquent.
Hey, I was delinquent.
Vernon.
Wasn't aware of that.
Yes.
You are sort of left alone. Again, Rathgirther is milling about and telling stories to the crowd and probably arguing with the troubadour over something. But you came here for a job, and you can hear Granny's voice in your head and talking about, you know, being responsible. And yeah, exactly. And so, but the question is, do you actually want to go to Lemmy House or not? You don't have to. You could check in and move on. You could ply some wares. Maybe you could go and scan some people for some money for a bit. Who knows?
I feel like that would be the best way to go, is to kind of explore. I don't get many opportunities to get out of the house, really. This is my first business trip to Loudwater, so let's just go and mill about for a little while before we go to Lemmy House. Almost at
Let me
Lemmy
pull up
House again.
a board I made specifically for this.
Okay.
Because I thought ahead, baby.
That's good, because I was definitely going to do that anyway.
Where is Vernon? Welcome. You were wandering down a random street.
There's quite a bit of uniformity out here.
Yeah. Well, listen. Just because I prepared doesn't mean I didn't use the copy paste feature a whole bunch. Okay.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. No judgment. Just saying.
No judgment.
Very,
So some of them have a bit of samey look to it. Maybe
it looks a lot like Waterdeep, but not quite.
So Waterdeep again is a gigantic city. It is bustling. There are very few green places in it. Homes come in various states of disrepair and wealth attached to them. You go to one ward and they're made out of mostly wood paneling and plaster, and you go to another ward and they're all stone. Like this is a city that has been built up over generations. And it is one of the biggest, most metropolitan cities on the Sword Coast.
Gotcha. A lot of history here, it seems. So, let's see. Where's the? Have I got any kind of idea where the richest part of town is? Because I gotta tell you, I feel like those folks would have the most coin.
You are currently very close to the market district, but if you travel a little bit further northward, you will along the Dragon Way, which is this big, gigantic road that you're happening across here. You will eventually hit the North Ward, which is indeed where most of the rich folks live.
All right. What kind of other shops in this area that I can see?
There are multiple blacksmitheries just on this corner, for instance. That's strange, perhaps, but listen, it's real. It happens. And in addition to that, there are booksellers and people who sell magical implements and curiosities, and there are pawn shops, and there's general stores and grocers, and all up and down this area here. Everyone is trying to sell someone something. This is the town that does this.
Interesting, very interesting. I'm going to start just as I walk through the street, I distribute my flyers that got me in so much trouble before. Hey, why don't you come down to Loudwater is where we came from, right? I didn't get those mixed up.
Loudwater, yeah. Loudwater is where you came from. Yeah.
Okay. Come on out to Loudwater. We have this wonderful shop called Necromancers. You can get the finest scarves there. I just pass them out along the road as I go.
Correct.
And,
yeah. I mean, most people.
Loudwater.
Most people are obviously not of exactly the persuasion that could go to Loudwater, given how poor they look. But
that's okay. Eventually, you'll be able to afford a vacation.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Listen, save up those vacation hours. Save them up. They'll work. And so, but every once in a while, you hand one out to like a merchant who goes, "Oh, I'm meaning to go to Loudwater. Yes, absolutely. Oh, well, such a rich town. Such lovely. Yeah." And that's mostly what they go through.
Right.
So yeah, you have various states of that, et cetera, et cetera. Are you gonna pull any other like cons as you're walking up and down? You're gonna do something as low key as pickpocketing, or are you above that sort of thing?
Oh no, I would definitely pickpocket if anybody like,
Oh, sure.
especially the wealthiest looking people that I see, even though
Okay.
they're we're in the poor part of town. If they look even vaguely wealthy, as I'm
Right.
handing off.
Well, the
the
market district
flyer-
isn't exactly the poor part of town, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, this is where
As I'm
most people
handing
come
off
to
the-
mingle and sell things. So you're seeing a good mix of the town's population here.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, as I hand off the flyer to anybody who looks like they may have some wealth or be a merchant or anything like that, I try to slip my hand inside their pocket, maybe take a couple extra coins, maybe just some pocket lint. Who knows?
Who knows?
Surely it
Why
will
don't
go towards a nice piece of a nice scarf later on.
So why don't you give me a sleight of hand check, and I'll say we'll pull it as an aggregate. We'll see how many. I'll see what you get in general, and don't forget that you have your inspiration.
All right, 19
19, huh? Wow, that's pretty good actually.
on the first one.
Okay.
How many more would you like?
No, that's. I'm just gonna pull it as an aggregate. So as you're walking up and down the street, you're like, oh, this is visit necromancers, and you like pull you touch their watch, their wrist really quick, and pull off their watch while they're not listening, and you go, oh, what's that over there, and you like take their coin purse and that sort of thing, right? And you're just ravaging this street. All right. I think probably by the end of that, you managed to get a total of like 9 gold. Because most people tend to carry coppers and silvers with them in total. So aggregate, you probably get about 9 gold. And you probably get at least one mundane-ish magical item. Let me see what I can... There's gotta be a weird little tiny magical item.
The stick of returning? No,
the stick of returning! No, I wouldn't destroy your brain like that. Jesus, so sad. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, sorry, don't mean to make you cry on stream. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a TikTok video where this guy's anyway.
I only cry on cue.
Yeah. Let's see. What kind of mundane magical items could there possibly be? Oh, what about it if it's like a little rubber ball that when you think about it, it generates a hat?
that's okay. First of all, I'm gonna remember that for later, but it absolutely won't be that because that's a little,
Okay.
that's a little bit much. I think what you probably get is a charlatan's die out of all of that. It's not exactly magical, but it's close. So yeah, a charlatan's die is it's something you've definitely seen before, but you probably lost your old one.
Of course.
Basically, whenever you roll this die, you control which number it rolls. So it's got a very low level magical field that lets you just kind of dictate how it's going to land.
All right. What number it rolls? Sorry. Okay.
Sure.
Excellent. Sweet. I feel like the one where I could imagine a hat was a little bit more mundane, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to complain. All right.
Listen.
I'm going to keep on following oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You can. I was interjecting.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to continue down the road, right?
Yep. Going to keep going. Going to keep.
How
trying to
long
get
do you say you wander, and before you decide do you want to go on with your mission, and or do you want something to happen? Like, do you want to like seek someone out, do something specific, mess with somebody? Like, is this what is your goal while you're meandering?
We'll say about half an hour, and then I'll decide I want to go to the fabric store because maybe I could pick up some things first.
Sure.
Some new scarves, maybe not so used as the ones that I typically sell.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So you, you're wandering on the market. So in a half an hour, it's easy enough to find a loomery, which is a place that produces fabric. And you walk inside, and as you do, this loomery isn't like a really upscale one where they separate the actual like loom room from the customers. This is like the looms are in here. So you walk in and the air is just thick with fibers. So literally like, yes, all these people are going to get fiber lung and die. But
Love the smell of fresh fiber in the morning.
exactly. And there's one older like dwarf woman, she looks like anyway, who seems to be running like 6 machines at once, and not like magically. Like she starts one up, and then it has like a process, and she shoots the shuttlecock down it, and she runs over to another one, and she shoots the shuttlecock down that one, and she presses the lever on the other one, and it goes, and like you can see that the fabric is weaving as it's happening. And sure, she's being a little less efficient than she could be if she just had, you know, some people helping her out, but she's not doing bad. She's not doing bad.
I would say that's pretty impressive. I really would like to interrupt her and like discuss the mechanics of the things that she's doing, but I feel kind of apprehensive about it because I don't want to throw her off of her game and completely destroy this area.
Right.
So,
okay, well, how long do you wait then? Because she is absolutely not going to notice you.
Okay. I guess I just I'll wait a couple of seconds, like look
Back
around,
out
like,
slowly.
see if there's anybody else to talk to, and then approach her and be like, pardon me, miss. My name is
She goes, "Bah!"
Vernon. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't intend to startle you.
Oh,
I do apologize for that.
It's
My name
fine.
is Vernon Fleming. I'm from Necromancer out in Loudwater. I've come to sample your wares, possibly make some wonderful scarves out of them later.
You're going to buy in bulk? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful! As you can see, I'm quite able to put out quite a large variety of patterns, and I work with several types of cloth. So what are you after?
Fascinating. Well, I am looking for. You do the designs as well, correct?
I can. It takes longer.
Okay.
Normally, I have a team, but they are called in sick.
Oh, no.
So I'm doing
so
this
sorry.
on my own.
I see. Well, I had an idea for a design. It was going to be. I'm thinking a blue with, let's say, some teal accents. In fact, the design that I have in mind is going to be a blue background, teal forefront. You understand. You know where I'm going with this. And I'm thinking crabs, just crabs all down the length of the material. Yes. You've seen crabs, correct?
Certainly. Yeah. Well, yes. The
Yes.
dock ward pulls them in
Of
very
course.
large amounts of them. Yes.
Yes,
I won't be able to fish a cutout for you, but I could dye and I could work a pattern in. Certainly,
Hey.
a crab wouldn't be hard.
Yes, absolutely. That would be perfect for me. I need let's say, I don't know. What would a good like bulk quantity be to make for like each member of the cult? Like yards ish.
I mean, how much do you think Burden knows about cloth?
I don't know. Probably quite a bit if he's been working at it for about a year.
True. Why don't you make me a history check then?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's see. Where's history?
You said you were trying to make scarves?
Yes, hence Necromancer. Where's his? Oh, there it is. I see it now. Sorry. Let's see. I got 21.
21, perfect. Yeah, you know that if you want to make scarves for like about 20 people, I mean, a couple of bolts of cloth would be fine, more or less. Like, as long as you're not crocheting these together, like if you're just literally cutting out lengths of cloth with a pattern already on it, then yeah, like a bolt or two of this fabric would probably make a fair few scarves, especially if you made them small scarves. So, you know.
Okay. Yes, I will order 2 bolts of the designed fabric. Yes. Please and thank you.
All right, very much. Let me tabulate that for you. Just 1 second, and she like dusts herself off, and like this cloud of like linen strings just yeah. Oh, don't worry, you get used to that.
I believe you.
Yeah, I swear there's a couple of bolts in my lungs, let me tell you. And then she goes up to her desk, and she pulls out a couple of sheets of paper, and she goes, right, okay. What sort of fabric? I can do linen, I can do silk, although that's much harder. But I can do silk, and I can do wool. I could do.
I think wool sounds good. Wool would be
Wool.
very effective, especially in the
Right.
winter.
Right. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Of course. We will absolutely go ahead and do wool, you said, yes?
Correct, yes.
Right. Weaving patterns into wool is a little bit more difficult, but certainly the dyeing will be easier, so that will take it off of the mine here, and very lovely thick scarves we get in from the farm district. Lots of wool, lots of good strong wool, let me tell you. All right, let me tabulate that. 2 bolts, you said?
Yes, 2 bolts should be just fine.
2 bolts of fabric. It's about 100 feet in a bolt. Let's see here. Carry the one. Add on an extra dragon or 2. That would be probably 150 gold, and it will take me about a 10-day to produce.
150 gold, you say? And then
Yes.
let me see how much money I have, because I don't actually know. I feel like we could probably make that work, but I don't know where to find that on the sheet.
It'll be in your inventory.
Inventory, of course.
And also, Vernon, I'm surprised that you willing to take a price at face value.
That's true. How about 100 gold? Would that be sufficient?
100 gold, eh? Why don't you give me a persuasion check?
Okie dokie. Where is that? There we go. Still need to. Oh, there's my inventory. 17.
17, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to roll. And I'm going to add the
Okay.
advantage I got from you winning
Oh-ho.
your...
How
see.
dare you?
Oh. Well, she rolled a 19,
Dang.
which gives her a
Okay.
24 to that.
That's pretty good.
And so
All
she
right,
goes, well, I think I'll be staying at 150 gold.
Okay, how about 105?
Make another persuasion check.
Okay. I'm going to do bartering all day. Oh, even worse. I got a 9.
Well, you have your inspiration, don't you?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, let me do that.
If
Go
you
for
want to
it.
use it.
Good point. Oh, got a 9 again.
Oh no!
That is
Well-
most unfortunate. I got an 18 altogether.
An 18 altogether, huh? Well, I'm going to use the other inspiration I got from Maldris.
Okay.
Nice. She goes, I don't know. I think 170 gold is fair.
Oh.
Also, I mean, not for nothing, but I certainly do lay away if you need to pay for it in installments.
Well, perhaps. I'll think about it, and then I turn and walk away because, best way to get anybody's business is to walk away when you can't
That's
afford
true.
it.
Oh, wait!
Oh, yeah.
You were
What?
right. I was
Yeah.
absolutely about to call back to you. Perhaps I was being too harsh. What if we say you pay me 60 gold now and 60 gold on receipt? Eh? That gives you a 10-day to come up with the extra 60 gold.
That sounds fair to me, I suppose. What about 155? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, 115. My mistake. Vernon can't do math.
Right.
No, I'm fine with that. That's totally okay.
Fine with that.
By the
Perfect.
way,
Excellent.
I could actually, I have this rewards card here from
Oh.
from Necromancers. If you
Oh.
give me a slight discount, this will get you a slight discount
Oh my
on our
God.
scarves.
Why don't
A
you
very deep discount when you consider that you're also our vendor.
Why don't you make a persuasion check with advantage this time, just for the asking, just to have
Okay.
advantage, because
Alright,
that's
got that one.
you see her eyes like sparkle.
And I got 15, a 10 and a 15, so 15.
Beautiful. Oh, and she takes it. She goes, "Oh well, You didn't tell me you had a reward system for your vendors. Hey,
Yes, of
listen,
course.
I could be convinced to sell it to you wholesale. How about, let's bring the price down to 80 gold in total. How does that sound? Yes?
Absolutely. And then I take out the gold and put it right in front of her.
Excellent. And she like whoosh, snatches it, probably faster than you faster than you've seen in quite some time. She just snatches the gold. And it's gone. You don't know where it went. She didn't put it in her pockets. There's nowhere on her bench that she could have put it. It's gone.
Wow. That was very quick. I suppose all of that running around really
So
improves your dexterity.
it's a 10-day here, and if you would be so kind, just could you let's see here. Could I see the cuff of your sleeve for half a moment here? I just need to give you the mark so that we know that we have sealed a deal for you here.
Absolutely. And then
You
cautiously reach out.
hold out your cuff and
Don't mind the 5 watches. I need to be able to tell time in multiple time zones.
right, and then you see her very quickly stitch a small and you can tell from the stitch it's an easily torn out one. It's like a little breakable design that looks kind of like a needle and thread if you look at it, squint at it, you know. There you go. That's easier than handing out receipts. We don't have a lot of paper around here. Don't trust this stuff.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I understand completely. I wouldn't either. Too easy to go missing.
Correct, yeah.
All right, and then I'm satisfied with that that transaction. So I say thank you very much. Have a great day, and I go on my way.
Beautiful. Ta-ta! And then she immediately goes back. You immediately hear like the shoop from the shuttlecocks going back and forth again, and like her racking the looms like a madwoman.
Yes.
And so yes, absolutely. Out you go. Back into the bright sunlight of a Waterdavian day. Yeah. So where would you like to go now?
I'd like to continue on towards Lemmy House.
Lemmy House.
I think that now I've satisfied my quota for the for grandmother to get her stuff. So yes, I'd like to just go right to Lemmy House. Sorry, I'm just writing down to subtract 80 gold.
Absolutely. All right, and then we will. Vernon, bingo. I will put you over here.
Mm-hmm.
You arrive in a dark and dingy part of the city. You are in the trade ward. And while the trade ward isn't all dark and dingy, it is perhaps... what in the world is going on here? Aha, that's why. Point. You all didn't see that.
Okay.
The chat can see my view, so they know what's going on.
Okay.
This place, though, is run down. Lemmy House sits in a back alley street of the trade ward. There is a rundown inn across the street from it. Lemmy House looks like it was perhaps at one point a warehouse that has been taken over by somebody else. The stonework is crumbling. The facade's plaster is starting to fall out. There are merchants selling their wares here, but they're thin and they're selling like half-rotten carrots and spices that are probably not actually spices, and cabbage. Oh, the amount of cabbage is ridiculous. There is a magical supply shop on the corner here that looks relatively well upkept, but aside from that, there's just maybe a general store. Squat with with everything here has old school thatch style roofs, so they're probably leaky. This place is a bit of a fixer-upper, as you would say.
Sounds that way. All right. So Vernon walks down the street very confidently. He's got a golden cane that he stole from one of that guy who got arrested off the other Vernon. In fact, it says Vernon on the handle, and
it's true.
It just works. He goes towards the general store, I suppose. Or
sure.
If Lemmy House is right here, then
Lemmy House is right here. That's this place.
Okay,
right
we'll
here.
just go right inside. We'll knock on the door 3 times, as was requested, as far as I remember.
Right. And you hear, yes,
The crab knocks thrice.
the crab knocks for thee.
Oh, yes,
And
my mistake.
The door opens anyway, and you see this kid. He's gotta be maybe 18, if that, and he's got like this scraggly like facial hair that's not quite grown in right, and his like one
Okay.
of his eyes is like off to the side a little bit, you know.
Can relate.
Right? And he's just like, hey, you got Granny sent?
Hello, yes, I am Vernon.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You may have
And
heard of me
he
in the
makes
podcast
bonus
bonus episode.
the symbol that your mother or your grandmother warned you he would make, and he backs up slowly.
Sick. Love it. All right. Vernon walks inside and just kind of takes in the atmosphere.
Here, I'll move your character in for you here.
Sweet.
You can officially move your character around if you wish.
All right. Sounds good. Probably a good idea.
So, judging by the bottom floor here, this was absolutely a warehouse at one point. It still even has some stuff in here. It's mostly gone. There are supplies that look like they're mostly for the food of the members of this sect. And you
Okay.
can see there are certainly a couple of people here who are shabby in appearance. Perhaps they are vagrants of some sort, like they can't maybe get a place to live that's not here. You know from your experience with grifting that if you are to make an organization, which you tend not to do because you don't like the amount of variables it gives into a scam, but if you are, you've seen some very successful cult scams done in the past, and very often it sits on the shoulders of those who are very disadvantaged. And as you can see here, same thing. Lots of people here seem to be sleeping in hastily made hay mattresses, and the food they have to eat seems to be just like bags of flour and grain. Maybe they make a gruel with it. You're not sure. There is a fireplace, luckily, and there is an upstairs.
All right. I'm going to walk over and look into the fireplace, see if I notice anything, I don't know, cooking or burning or anything other than just wood, I guess.
There is a pot there, and it is indeed cooking something that looks like gruel. It looks like it's been probably like continually taken from and added to over and over again, sort of like a forever stew sort of deal. But yeah, you can smell from the pot someone probably burnt it a little bit at some point by not stirring it enough, and so it's just like the whole place smells like, I don't know, burnt grain and flour. It just doesn't smell very good.
Amateurs. Yes. So I continue to walk through the halls, just kind of wondering how such a great empire that we are going to build is in such a shabby affair, basically, is in such terrible shape. And then I approach this person. I almost said this person here.
Hello. And he makes the crab symbol.
The crab. Yes.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
You're quite
my name
fancy.
is Vernon Fleming from Loudwater, and you are?
My name is Joe.
Joe.
Yes.
Interesting. Good name. Solid.
Thank
Very
you.
stoic. Seems like you have lived through a lot here. Is that correct?
I have very recently become a member of the church, but it's changed my life. I've mostly gotten off the booze. It's I feel a little better about myself, I'm picking things up.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that the church was able to help you to kick the habit. Mostly, at least. It is a process. So I'm very happy to hear about that. Where, might I ask, do I find the head of this chapter?
They're all upstairs. They're probably waiting for you, if I had to guess. They
Yes, I
said
would
someone
imagine
big and
so.
important from Loudwater would be here sometime soon.
Oh, how kind. Well, thank you very much, Joe. Best of luck in kicking the habit, and I will see you. I will see you shortly. Yes. I make the crab gesture to him as well. Okay, and then we go up the stairs. Like so.
Congratulations. You are now currently in the upstairs. And you see things are a little better up
Yay.
here.
Yeah.
The furniture is in relative disarray, but there are cots instead of bed bags to sleep in. There are actually also a couple of rooms, it looks like. The food here also looks relatively tolerable. Everyone here is looking a little bit like they're from better off circumstances. Not a whole lot, though, but some.
Interesting. So I'm going to go up to this person and introduce myself. Not that close.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
I've lost my
Yeah.
view because I zoomed out. Hello, my name is Vernon Fleming from Loudwater, and you are
I'm Cheryl.
Cheryl. Nice to meet you. I'm looking for the leaders of this chapter of the church.
Oh.
Where might I find them?
Yes, Johan is in the room right next to us over here.
Johan, excellent. Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am well, thank you.
Good.
The
I'm glad to
Earthropod
hear it.
provides.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
And then I try to remember the saying again, and I say the lobster harasses Bryce. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes.
Yes, that's profound. Thank you. I'll remember
No
it.
problem. Yes, yes. Definitely be on the lookout for anybody named Bryce and harass them mercilessly. Okay, I am going to go and find Johan, you said?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
You as well.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop.
Yeah, that's the wrong way. Oh,
Oh, what?
the
What?
other room.
What?
Sorry, off to the left.
Oh, back this way.
Yes.
Yes.
And you
yes,
you
okay.
walk through. You realize there's no doors. Like it
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
like,
someone stole all the doors up here. Like that's.
Interesting.
Did you forget to
Do you-
add them?
Do you folks have would you call it an open kind of situation here where you folks can just go in and discuss whatever with whomever you choose?
At the moment, yes, of course, everyone is open to other members of the Church of the Earthropod. Yes.
Right, all right. That's good to know. So I won't be barging in. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Okay. And then I realize I forgot what her name was. And then I go over here and hello. I couldn't see you. That's why I've gotten so close so quickly. My name is Vernon Fleming from Loudwater. And you are?
I am Johan, leader of the Church of the Earthropod, Lemmy House Division.
Yes. Very, very pleased to meet you. I have been sent by Granny.
Ganesh, yes, we know.
Yes.
So you are the child she speaks of, yes?
Yes, I don't understand why she calls me a child, as I am clearly an adult, but you know.
Clearly. Well, if she thinks that she's the only one who has a potential seed, then she has another thing coming. But first, let's get you situated. You are an applicant, and so that means that you are to be afforded some manner of respect. But know this, if the tests don't pan out, I will kick you from this prestigious establishment before you have a chance to say otherwise. Are we clear?
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Wonderful. Come with me.
All right.
And he walks over to the other side of the building, basically.
Wow. Sorry, I've got all the walls in my way.
There are indeed walls nearby.
Many walls. Many walls. Hold on.
Many walls. If you wish to just kind of move without the walls, you can tap shift before you grab your character, and you can teleport them through the wall. Well, Vernon's on the ceiling, everybody. There you go.
Or
That's
you can
fine.
just force them around.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, you can just drag their face on there.
Hey.
So in this room, you realize there's a circle on the ground, and in that circle is a bunch of glyphs, and on the outside of the circle march a bunch of like crabs, basically.
Oh.
And if you look closely, it's dark in here, but if you look closely, the crabs are actually moving. Like the glyph is rotating slowly on the ground. Right?
Yes. Okay. What an interesting room. I've never seen this type of thing before. I've seen plenty of things.
Well, step into the circle, young man. It's right in front of the. Yeah, you're in it.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I need to ask you some questions. First of all, has Ganesh been teaching you how to use the gifts?
Yes, yes, she has.
I see.
The more I
And
think about that Ganesh, the worse I feel. I'm saying that out of character, but
right. How exactly have you been faring? Have you been getting stronger?
of course. I'm Vernon. That is how I am. I picked up that line from Rathgurther. Surely you know Rathgurther.
The comic book character?
There's comic books here?
There are several. You don't know about Waterdeepian comic books?
No, I've never heard of them before. I will have to investigate. Either way, yes. Where were we? Let us continue.
Indeed. And he taps his little staff that he's got. He's got a staff, as you can see from the model, which this time is a little bit accurate. And the glyphs begin to glow. And he says, "Oh, yes, indeed. I could see why she says that you are likely it. You certainly have a connection to the mighty beast. Tell me, have you seen visions of the arthropod?"
Of course. I've only seen it after I've died, which is kind of a strange thing to say. I recognize that, but I have met with death several times in my journey here.
Can you give me a persuasion check? He's like looking at you like big side eye.
Okay, persuasion. Boop. Oh no, this is in the way. I got a 12.
12? Okay. And he goes, "Oh, all right. Weird flex, but okay."
Clearly, I am the strongest. I have come back to life multiple times. Can the others say that?
Indeed. Oh, seems like you haven't eaten in some time. How hungry are you?
I hadn't really thought about it until now. I suppose I could eat. In fact, I'm practically famished.
Why don't you give me a wisdom saving throw as you say that?
Okay, wisdom saving throw. Boop. 11.
11.
I think that's the right one, right?
The wisdom saving throw, yeah.
Yeah.
And you realize you are indeed almost blindingly hungry. You don't know really how you could have not heard, not felt this way. And almost as soon as you say it, unfortunately you failed your check. You begin to swoon, and you collapse even.
Okay.
Give me half a moment.
Yep.
One moment. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you wake for perhaps the briefest of moments. And you're in a chamber that you've never seen before. Let me grab your character so you can maybe see this.
Okay.
And it's drippy, and where's Vernon? There you are. Boink. And I would surround you by more people right now, but there are none. You are indeed on the ground in front of this altar that is shaped with coral.
Oh my!
And you're in a and it's glowing slightly. And there are two braziers off to the side that are shaped like crab claws with fire in them. And you're still swooning. You can see like you only woke because they bumped you by putting you on the ground, and you're in another circle. You're surrounded by some of the people you met upstairs actually, and they're in robes now, but they're tattered and they're not so great looking, and they're not so great, and they're chanting over you something about you catch we are children of the arthropod provides, etc., etc., etc. And you are so hungry. Again, blindingly so, and you pass out again.
All right.
Eventually, you come to. And you are lying in the bed up in the room that you were brought to before. There's no more glyph on the floor. It's instead got a big circular rug. And you don't feel hungry anymore.
Oh, that's very strange. But at least I no longer have the pangs of hunger. And I groan and kind of sweep my feet off of the side of the bed, kind of sit on the edge, pick myself up slowly, kind of groggily, you know.
Right.
Still waking up.
You're very, even though you're a little bit groggy, you're feeling like this sort of, you're stronger. You can feel it. You've got something about you that just, you're more sure of yourself. You know, you feel more complete. And you realize you're not wearing, you're not in your usual clothes. You're in some sort of like robes for like sleeping.
Oh, okay.
And you feel something on your shoulder.
And then I reach up and kind of feel it.
Your hand touches it and it's hard. It feels like you, but you're not feeling it anymore. And you look over real quick and you notice it's covered in brown chitin.
Huh.
And it moves with your shoulder just like it's you, but it's hard. Rough and coarse.
That was definitely not there before.
And it is attached. You give it a little yank and it looks like it's attached to your skin.
Huh. Interesting. And then I decide to walk and see if I can find Johan and ask him what the hell happened.
You can't find Johan, and in fact, most of these people aren't here at the moment. Although you do notice Cheryl in the corner repeatedly slapping the young man from downstairs. I'm sorry, Bryce. He said I had to, and he's like, no. If he said so.
Oh no, I forgot to ask his name. Okay, I approach Cheryl and I say, "Excuse me, miss. Where is everybody?"
She's like, "Oh, they're out performing their usual duties. You know, they're out and about. Most of our tenants downstairs are still around because, of course, we are taking care of them. They don't have duties as of yet. Everyone upstairs has duties. Everyone downstairs is here to be taken in as a child of the arthropod." And she slaps Bryce real quick off to the side.
Oh.
Goes,
Okay, you can stop harassing Bryce. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I've been doing that for days.
Oh, well, you have done more than your due diligence for the arthropod.
Like, yes, I know. It hurts.
You say you've been doing it for days. Does that mean I've been unconscious that whole time?
You've been convalescing for maybe, I don't know, 7, 8 days?
Convalescing? 7 or 8. Oh man. My order might almost be done. I'm sorry. What do you know?
Oh, and you as you show it to them a little bit. Do you?
I've
in the course of saying, "Hey, what's up with this?"
Yeah, I just to demonstrate.
Seeing it immediately, they both drop to their knees and immediately make the sign of the crab. They're like, "Oh, you truly are a seed."
Okay. I think I understand, but not quite. What happened to cause this? Do you know?
Oh, it is not for us to say. The mighty arthropod has turned his gaze upon you.
I see. Well, if I am as important as apparently I am to make you drop to your knees, surely I can ask for some clarification and receive it.
Certainly. Sorry. What would you like?
I just would like to know how this got here. What
we
happened?
We don't know. We
Oh.
we are not high up enough to know. Perhaps Johann might, but it is not for us to know the ways of the mighty beast.
I see. And where would Johann be?
Johann is probably proselytizing somewhere in town currently. Spreading the
Okay.
good word, you know?
Yes, of course. Well, is there anything I can do for you folks before I head out? Anything I should know? Is there anything wrong with my face, perhaps? Maybe that has also gotten chitinous.
No.
No.
Child,
Okay.
you are fine. Thank you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
And thank you for all of your assistance. I will take my leave now, at least temporarily, and then I leave the house and try to go off and find Johann for some information, understand what the hell is going on here.
Certainly. And as you very confusedly walk downstairs, you notice that indeed every single one of the people who were down here before is down here, with the exception of a very noticeable emptiness where Joe was.
Oh.
And for some reason your stomach rumbles and you're not sure exactly why. And as you walk out of Lemmy House into the dull morning air, looking for perhaps some answers, that's where we're going to leave it for today.
Oh.
Yay! You two leveled
Yay!
up. So Vernon, you can officially level up your character if you haven't already. It looks like you have. Yeah, you can pick your new spell slots, and you're level 3, so you can pick like what special dude you are now and such. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless the crab. The mighty Arthropod.
Yes, the mighty Arthropod. Okay.
Excellent. I'll drop that number there. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming by and watching today. Obviously, since there's only 2 of us, I don't think we should really have a talk show after this. If you have any questions, now would be a good time to put them out, and I'll field them. But I think honestly, this is probably going to be it for today. And we, like I said, because of the absences, we are going to have a couple of special episodes that are focused exactly like you just saw today on their level up sequences. And then hopefully by the end of the month, we'll be back to our regular grouping, and we will see anything getting in together. Just in case there's no questions, Ron, where can they find you?
If you would like to find me, you can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/MegaronTV, or you can find me on TikTok at MegaronTV, or you can find me on Twitter at MegaronTV. Pretty much anywhere. If you look up MegaronTV and YouTube, I'm the Megaron because somebody stole my name. Yes.
Well, we'll get him.
Yeah, we will get them eventually.
You have crabby minions now.
Now they have messed with the mighty Arthropod.
No, Earthropod. It's Earthropod.
Oh, I'm going to write that down.
Because it's a good pun. Listen, this is the thing I do. I make funnies. I'm a funny,
yes.
funny guy.
That is fun.
Jinx, where can they find you?
I'm on YouTube and Twitch as Wild Jinx, and on Twitter as Wild Jinx Gaming, and then TikTok as Wild Jinx as well.
There you go.
That's where you can find me.
Excellent. And I'm obviously Jaycorn. You were on my channel. There is a YouTube channel in the description, and of course, in the if you're looking for juicy content, you can find it in the. I have to content this. You can find it there, and you can find us, of course, on Anchor under What's Left of Us podcast and all that other juicy stuff. Later on this evening, Jinx and I will be back with our other friend Ag the Gaming Dad, and probably my wife, and we'll be playing more Ag the Gamer Dad, pardon me, and we'll be probably playing Phasmo, it sounds like.
Phasmophobia.
Yeah, but that'll be much later on tonight, around 10 p.m. EST. And then, like I said, keep an eye on all of our stuff. If you're not part of the Discord, please join it. That's how we get all of the goodies to you folks. That's how we get all of the information to everybody. And you'll be able to see all of our announcements for things like this. And, of course, interact with the super cool community that we've got here, right? Absolutely, he said, knowing the answer already. And so, yeah, I am
Were there
pleased
any
to say
questions?
that would. I don't think there are any questions. I will, as far as I can tell, we are good to go. I think that's it for everybody. Say goodnight, everybody.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.